What is up, XRP family? Thank you guys for joining the video for today. So here we can see, guys, breaking news. The White House is set to release its first national crypto stockpile report this Wednesday, July 30th, mentioning XRP maybe. So you have to understand that now things have really changed because of the Genius Act. These people will start talking about cryptocurrencies. They will start mentioning crypto in their plans, and with all due respect to other cryptocurrencies, but XRP will be the main one. Because why? There's a real company behind it, Ripple, which will represent it and actually show accountability for it, which is a big thing in the cryptocurrency industry, right? Because we just have this thing with cryptocurrencies that if we do not know who is behind it, it kind of gets dangerous, right? And Bitcoin is an exemption, of course, because it's the first cryptocurrency ever created, so it will always go up in value. It's a store of value. Ethereum, we know the founder, and there's many more where we just know the founders, but XRP, Ripple is just such a big company which is solving a real world problem. And here we can see, guys, USA Treasury Secretary, digital payment rails for frictionless payments, eliminating the middleman, putting USA dollar on crypto rails. Let's take a look.
Seminal moment for digital assets and global dollar dominance, with President Trump signing the Genius Act into law. This bill provides the fast-growing stablecoin market with the regulatory clarity it needs to grow into a trillion-dollar industry. Stablecoins represent a revolution in digital finance. The dollar now has an internet-native payment rail that is fast, frictionless, and free of middlemen. This groundbreaking technology will buttress the dollar status as a global reserve currency, expand access to the dollar economy for billions across the globe, and lead to a surge in demand for U.S. treasuries, which back stablecoins. The Genius Act is a win-win-win for everyone involved: stablecoin users, stablecoin issuers, and the U.S. Treasury Department. I want to thank President Trump for his visionary remarks.
Now here you can see, guys, this has never been done before, and when we go to see the XRP price, it is now trading at, I think, $3.13. As you can see, it went down a little bit, but this shouldn't bother you if you are in for the long run, right? Because we have just started and things are about to get very, very crazy. Trump reaches deal with the European Union, 1.35 billion in total. NATO, EU destruction. Trump basically owns the Commonwealth now after overthrowing the Queen. This is all role play. We just unlocked another, and it's 1.3 trillion, by the way, not billion. So this is just what you're seeing here, guys, is just talks about the new financial system that is about to begin. And again, if you're not seeing it, you're just not seeing it. But to be very frank, guys, it is going to happen. One theory I've heard is that 2017-18 was an XRP test drive. I sure hope so. Applying 2017-2018 performance to 2025, if XRP were to repeat its 2017-18 performance, we would apply the same percentage gain, which is 58,000%, guys, to its current price. Starting price is $3.14. So if we use that same percentage, we would have a 58,000 increase of $3.14, which is 3.14 times 580, which is $1,821 for one coin, guys. Now again, many people will not believe this because they look at market capitalization, right? If we look at market capitalization, let's take a look. Let's go in with the numbers, right? Let's take a look what we have here. We have a market cap of 185 where can I see the market cap? Let's take a look. 185 billion over here, guys. Okay, if we were to do that times, so if price would go to $1,800, that's like a 50 times increase of the market cap, right? Which is 185 billion times 50. Oh, sorry. You would get $10 trillion almost, right? of a market cap, which is insane, which is absolutely insane. But it could happen, guys, because we are talking about huge price increase. We are talking about trillions of dollars that will enter the space. Here we have some news again. Breaking. Atlanta Fed mentions XRP for the first time, calling it an international payment medium or wholesale settlement currency. XRP will power the world. Let's dig in. Ripple and Stellar are two blockchain-based companies that are trying to make value transfer cheaper. Ripple provides various services via the use of its native token, the XRP, which is roughly envisioned as an international payment medium or wholesale settlement coin. This is the Federal Reserve Bank of Atlanta. Why would they do that? Why would they say such a thing, guys? Think about it. It's happening. PayPal XRP. Pay with crypto powered by PayPal will be available to US merchants in the coming weeks, covering 90% of the 3+ trillion crypto market cap. Pay with crypto offers the ability to pay with 100 cryptocurrencies, including BTC, ETH, USDT, XRP, BNB, Solana, USDC, and many others, and connect wallets including Coinbase, OKX, Binance, Kraken. You can see, guys, that these things are changing, right? Also, the exchanges, they made a name for themselves. They will not be going away very fast. So all of this is now in the hands of the big players. The Federal Reserve's David Endelvetto confirmed that clearing settlement at the Fed can be delegated to a third party like Ripple. This explains Ripple's pursuit of a Fed master account to directly settle central bank money using XRP.
Fed is, people say, how can you trust, the Fed to do the bookkeeping? I mean, like I said, my response is, you don't expect the Fed to kind of steal your money. I mean, if the Fed can print all the money at once, it's not going to mess around with your bookkeeping. So, we have this big spreadsheet, the blockchain if you want, but it's just managed by the Fed, and it's very cheap, much cheaper than Bitcoin, if you're willing to delegate the responsibility to a third party. But then the downsides to all of that, of course, is you'd actually suppose you didn't want the Fed to be responsible for processing the payments. I mean, suppose, the Fed will likely impose some KYC restrictions on some purchases. They might not process some purchases that you might want to undertake. And so it was at that point that I said, well, we could, if we wanted to, extend the concept one step further. I'm not saying that this is ever going to happen, but just conceptually, you could imagine not FedWire for all, but kind of like a Fed coin, where what the Fed would do is actually just issue these, Bitcoin-like objects, but and they would enforce a par exchange rate with the U.S. dollar. That would eliminate the exchange rate volatility. But they could delegate the clearing of these payments to some third party, some sort of Ripple-like protocol, or possibly even Bitcoin. I mean, we could delegate the responsibility of processing these electronic, Fedcoin payments to the miners. And the idea there would be,
So again, he's talking about a Fed coin, right? But what would that be? Why do you think they are passing this genius law? It's just not for a Fed coin, guys. It's really for XRP. They want to start using this. But what did we need? We needed a clear law. Now we have that. It's not going to take long. Cardano founder Charles Hoskinson says that if you hold XRP, you will receive the largest airdrop ever. Let's take a look.
Soon. We're going to do a token drop, airdrop, called Glacier Drop, brand new distribution mechanism. And if you hold Bitcoin, Ether, Cardano, XRP, if you hold Avalanche, BNB, if you hold Brave, because we like the bats people, if you hold any of these ecosystems, you already have it. Congratulations. It's for free. Just airdrop it to 37 million accounts. And you can do whatever the hell you want to do with it. You can ignore it and put it in the corner like a lonely dog. You can sell it. You can burn it. You can say, I really hate that Charles Hoskinson guy, so I'm just going to find a way to weaponize it against him. I don't give a shit. It's yours. It's your property. Anybody can take it. And what this is going to do is it's going to bring the entire industry together. It's going to bring all the people together. And it's going to give them a new way of thinking about things. The other magical part of it is the dual tokenomics model that we have. The idea of having a token and a capacity unit, which means that you can pay in any asset you want and just works.
Very interesting. So if you hold any of those coins, he will give you an airdrop. Very interesting. Guys, thank you very much for watching this video. See you in the next one. Cheers.